Today, I am with Darcy Smith of Royal Neighbors of America. She's the regional sales manager. She's for my region. And we're going to talk about the Insured Legacy Final Expense product. We're going to go over some niches. We're going to talk about underwriting and, of course, the application process. With that being said, Darcy, thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So let's just kind of jump right in. How does Royal Neighbors speak to women that's kind of unique with insurance carriers and other companies?
Well, for one thing, our history is very unique. We were started by 9 visionary women before women could even own insurance, could vote. We were actually started by the men, the wives of the men from Modern Women were at their insurance meetings. And we were started as a social because women got together when their husbands were having their insurance meetings. And then they started talking about, well, why can't women own insurance? So that's how it all started.
Life insurance agents, if you'd like 20 life insurance appointments on your calendar every single day, all set by the clients themselves who expect to speak with you about burial life insurance, or if you'd like a copy of the free new agent remote sales file, lots of killer sales materials here. Email me at doug@ufesonline.com or just click on the link below in the description.
I've been at Royal Neighbors for 47 years. When I first started at Royal Neighbors, only women could sell our product. We have a chapter system. Only women could be chapter leaders. It's changed. It's evolved a lot since I first started. But we still like to say we have some programs that we focus around women. And our main program, we have a Nation of Neighbors program where we give $100,000 away every year to women that there's a nomination process and we select them. But it's for women that are doing great things to help others in their community.
Nice. And yeah, I've seen that. There's some pretty cool member benefits that we're gonna talk about a little bit here too. With the product and the application, what makes a competitive final expense product?
What makes it competitive? Well, you want to make sure you have prices and you want to have commissions that attract agents. I'm not saying we're the top for cost, but we're very competitive, especially if you would get selected for our preferred rates. I know it's hard to beat us. Preferred's a little tough to get, but we do know we're very competitive in that space.
Agreed, especially with, I think it's once you get to that face amount of $30K and above, that's when it's like, whoa, this product really, really sticks out. That's the one thing we've noticed. And I know you guys, that was designed that way on purpose. You get the more serious clients.
And we'll admit, when you get to the guaranteed issue side, you're not going to see it's not competitive on the guaranteed issue side.
Right. Well, and most carriers, it's not. It's like you go with their preferred, their level coverage, or you use your plan B carrier for that. So that kind of is the norm. But what I find is that, look, I'm just going to say it. I'm biased towards Royal Neighbors. Royal Neighbors, their final expense product, guys, has been in my top 3 for years now. When it was the original product compared to the new product that we're talking about, the Insured Legacy that came out, I think it's right at 2 years now. Yeah.
January.
Excellent. Let's talk about niches for first day coverage. Where do you guys feel like you stand out?
Where do we stand out when we talk about our product? We always say we're very diabetic, COPD, very friendly. So if you have a client that has any of those kind of symptoms, you want to pull it out. Where before, on our final expense, if you answered yes for COPD, they would probably not get issued or be rated. Now a drop down comes and there's 4 questions, and 3 of those questions can still get you standard rates. So we like to say that we are very diabetic and COPD friendly.
Excellent. You guys have a sandbox. A lot of carriers still don't do that. Look, I know a lot of agents watching this, they know the importance of the sandbox, but what can a new agent get out of that sandbox by using it? What's the objective of it?
Yeah, the objective is to go out and be able to practice an application before you go out there. You don't want to go out there with a new application and not know how it looks when you're completing it. So you can go out to that sandbox, practice doing applications, but also on that same screen you can pull up any marketing material you need. It talks about everything you need about our products. So that sandbox page, and I'll show you the screen later because it's just out on the agent website. So we encourage all the agents to be looking at that and using that as a tool.
Excellent. Excellent. With underwriting, are there any recent changes or anything you guys have going on that's coming up for 2026?
The thing that we are working on for 2026 is we want to make our preferred rates better, so more people are getting preferreds. I know we're looking at different ways to make that better. We're even talking about maybe lowering the face amount because you have to have a higher face amount to get preferred. So we're kind of looking at those things, and we're hoping to roll that out in the middle part of the year. I hate to say for sure because there's always something that happens sometimes.
Okay. So
that's one of the things we want to make preferred better, more people being qualified for that.
Right. And then it's for some, you're right. When you're looking at a higher face for a final expense product to get those preferred rates, it is tougher for some people. And a lot of folks are healthy, then they don't have the finances for that. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna be doing this again and talking about that when that happens. So yeah, that's some pretty good news. Would you mind sharing a little bit about the product? I know you normally have a presentation that you do. Maybe spend a few minutes going over some of the ins and outs of the product for us.
Sure. I want to first say you can get the preferred, standard, guaranteed, or graded death benefit, which I think you already know that. We do have some great writers. I don't know if you want to talk about those now or.
If you want to do a screen share and show us,
Okay.
some stuff, that would be great. I'm the visual guy. Like when a lot of times when I see it, it's like.
Share. Let's see. Screen. Let me see if I get this right.
There we go.
Okay. Just our accidental death benefit. There's nothing special about it. It's a normal accidental death rider. It's for ages 50 to 70. We have the accelerated death benefit, which we didn't on our old product, which is free. So that's a plus. Grandchild rider. What's unique about this is $60 a year for this rider. It covers all grandchildren. You could have one or you could have 100. It covers every one of your grandchildren, even grandchildren that aren't born yet. So we love that rider. We think that's unique. But the one that we're most proud of is our charitable giving rider. Since we're a nonprofit and all about giving back, you can select the charitable gift rider. It is free. We're finding that agents are not marking it on the app, which we don't know if it's because they don't understand it or they think that it's taken away from the face amount of the policy. But when the client dies, 1% above the face amount gets paid to the nonprofit they select. So that's additional money that we're paying out for in memory of that client. So right now these are the nonprofits that you have to select from.
Okay.
When we first started this product, we only had 5. The reason we now have so many more is agents have given us recommendations.
Nice.
So we're always looking at recommendations for different nonprofits to add to this list. So as I said, it's a free rider. So
use it, guys.
Yeah, use it. But I think when we redo our app, I think it's going to be already selected. So everybody's using it.
Nice.
So those are our 4 riders on our product. I'm trying to think of anything more. This app is old. This slide is old. You can write apps by the e-app or by paper. We no longer have a phone application. We got rid of that.
Okay. So you're talking for face to face or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, phone you could call in. It wasn't used very often. I think that's why they got rid of it.
Okay. Right. It
You can
was
we still have phone signatures,
right.
but just not the phone
Well,
app.
so let me just chime in here. My very first final expense sale. So now we're going back. Oh, let's see. I would say 2012 was Royal Neighbors, and it was a face to face sit, and I did the application over the phone. That was the old product. And I remember, as a new agent, she pulled out this whole bag of medication, and I was like, uh-oh. What I remember is she was a diabetic, and this is the old product, and she had neuropathy. And at the end of the phone interview, they said, "Hey, your client's approved." And so that was pretty cool. So that's like the phone app to me. That process, it was a lot longer than the way things are today. So I know today you guys, especially my agency, we do mainly telesales. We do have agents that do face to face, but really telesales is kind of like, honestly, it's the now and the future of final expense sales, in my opinion. And I know you guys have different signature options. I feel like that is a super important thing. What signature options are there for the client?
Yeah, there's different. There's the phone. You can do phone signature, text signature. Um, you can actually have them sign in, just right there. You don't even have to be the person, like you said. The person can do one way, and the agent could do another way. They don't all be the same signature. So
Okay.
we have that unique signing experience
That,
where you can do it different ways. Um, Very easy.
so, okay. Now this is kind of important. Did you say a text app? A
Well,
text
you know what? I better
signature?
not say text. I think that's something we're working on.
You're working on the text signature.
Yes.
Okay. So, but right now you do have, it's basically an e-sig, an email signature. So they get the email. Is it like a DocuSign, or are they
Yeah,
reading?
like document. And then there's a way that it can go to it goes to your phone, and then you can then when you download it somehow.
Right.
I've never seen it happen, but
Right.
it's
But you do have that option. So that's
yes.
good. Now, let's say you send that to the client, because that to me is the faster way to go. We know when we do a voice signature, we have to read some things. There's a little bit more
Mhm.
involved. In the event where you try to do that first easier signature, and the client just is not good with the technology, and they're just fumbling with their phone and like, oh, I can't get it. My daughter's going to be home tonight, she can help. And of course the agent's job is to hey, let's see if we can do it now. Are you able to backpedal and go, hey, let's do a voice signature after you've already started the other signature?
You should be able to, yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can too. And that actually, I wanted to bring that up because that's one of the things I love about this product.
And
Um,
that's one of the things we're working on. We're even working, even though we feel like our signature process is pretty unique. We're working on even making it better. That's another thing we're working on because
Excellent.
we understand that there's with final expense, you're working with a lot of older clients that do have frustrations.
Right.
So we want to try to make it so it's easier for the agent when they're working with those clients.
Well, that's why I got excited when you mentioned the text. You guys get that
Good.
text
Well, that's something
signature.
we're working on.
You get that down, and it's just going to make our lives as insurance agents so much easier. And it's going to make it easier because we're able to help more clients and make it easier to help them because of that. I know that one of the things, some of the text signatures, it is like a little bit of a DocuSign, but others, there's a code. And so if you guys get it to where there's a code and the
I
client
think that's what we're
reads,
talking about is a code. That's what I've heard.
that's the way you read the code to the agent types in the code, and bam, there's your signature. It makes sense. They can't.
I hate to say that for 100%, but that's what I've been hearing. Codes, codes, codes.
Okay, well, you heard it from me. That is the way to go for sure.
The other
um,
thing, just to let you know before I forget, the things we're working on besides the signature and the preferred, we are working on where I know some of the carriers now you get a instant. You only type in a few things and you know instantly whether you're approved. And I know right now you don't hear until the very end of ours. We're working on having an instant response like the some of the other carriers are doing.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So as soon as you put in the client's pertinent information, their social, date of birth, the background starts. And then all of a sudden it says when you get to the next page, and other carriers are doing this, it gets to the next page and it says you can apply for level coverage, for example. So that's
Yes,
nice.
that's the big thing we're working on.
That's nice.
We have some care. We've talked to some carriers who are doing it, and we want to. That's our thing we're working on right now.
Excellent. Member benefits. Do you have any slides on member benefits you
Yes, I
could
do.
share with us?
I'm very passionate about our member benefits. I was in the philanthropy department for 25 years. So I work with most of these benefits. I'm trying to get to that page. Sorry.
Okay, I got to ask you, 47 years, was this your first job?
Well, besides working at a department store with my grandma for a few months and working at a rifle range, yes, it's my first job.
Awesome. All right.
I did start. I was in the sales department for 20 years, but that was back when everything was paper application. Like I said, only women could write.
Yeah.
We've gone a long way.
Yep. I've sent up many paper applications back in the day, and when I was face to face, when I was selling, it was, it's funny, even after people stopped doing the paper apps and I just, old school and not wanting to go with the technology, I fought it for years. Only recently did I kind of give in to hey, you have to do it. Not only is it important to use, these applications, but, just about, I guess about right around COVID, I think we all got hit with, we need to make changes. And that was when like we got into telesales, as you probably hear this all the time, most insurance agency owners. But to me, that was when we really started working on our appointments platform, where, agents can come in to do telesales and have a calendar booked with appointments every day. So, yeah.
Yeah. And people ask us why we still have the paper application. And the reason is because we do have agents that do go face to face and they get in very rural areas and can't even use internet.
And that
So
happens.
that's the only reason. That's why we're keeping the paper application.
That was my excuse for a few years too. I was like, well, I'm in rural places, I got to do paper, but yeah, it's true. It makes sense.
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes us a little bit unique. Since we're a nonprofit, we offer more than just the insurance. We offer different programs for our agents and our clients. Our empathy program is a brand new program. This is where beneficiaries can, if they need help, they're having some challenges after deaths, they can call in and get help with the empathy program. It's brand new. We're hoping it gets used more. We're starting to see an uptick being used now, but I think it takes a while for people to.
Is it counseling? What?
Yeah, they will give counseling and, because sometimes after a death, people are really in need of help. So they talk to them about grief and whatever's needed.
That's huge. I know that some of the funeral concierge companies, well, they do that too as part of it. So that's smart.
These two are kind of our old programs. We have prescription drug discounts, and I know you can get those pretty much with different companies. What's nice about ours is you can go out there and you can say, I'm taking this drug, and they will show you where you can find it cheapest. So there's some perks about our prescription savings program. Lifeline screening is where when you become a certain age, you'll get notification in the mail. Hey, we're going to be in your area. We're going to run these tests. You pay $99. It's usually, if you have all these tests done, it's usually like $1,200. But it finds out if there's anything wrong. Like if you maybe need to go to the doctors, they find that there's just different medical things they can find that keep you healthy. If it's something you're just finding it, you can get the doctor before it gets worse.
Now,
that's a free thing. And if they're in your area, your client's going to get a letter.
With this membership, are agents members also?
Yes. Once they write their first piece of business, they become a member.
Excellent. There you go, guys.
Our member relief program, I hope you promote this. This is where if there's a disaster or even a client has extreme illness, we have member relief program where they can apply for $200 to be applied toward their premium. Just as example, like, when there's a flood or a hurricane, a lot of times there's a lot of destruction to a home. $200 is not a lot, but at least it's helping them. We are proactive on this. If there is like a hurricane or something in an area, we send a letter out automatically and saying, hey, don't forget you have this program. But our agents have been really good ambassadors for us, and they will talk to their clients about this.
Absolutely. And I know, if you're thinking $200 isn't much, when you're on a low fixed income and you just had some event where you lost all the food in your refrigerator, that's going to replace that and more for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't have slides for these next two I'm going to talk about, but these are the two I think might be the most beneficial for the client is our scholarship program. Anybody that has insurance that's going to school can apply for a scholarship. It's a review process. They fill out an application, and I think it started December 1st. They fill out an application, and then we review them, and then depending on how their scoring is, but usually like 35 people get selected for scholarships. But for an example, my niece applied all 4 years. She ended up getting $20,000 toward her college expense. She got $5,000 for 4 years. That's nice. So just remind your clients, if you know of a client that is going to college, to point out the scholarship. And the other one that I think makes us unique, it's called our difference maker. If you're talking to a client that you know is very involved in their community, let them know that every year they can apply for this $200 check. They're just going to tell us what their project is. Are they going to plant trees? Are they going to collect food for the homeless? We send them $200. We send them 5 shirts, and they do their project. That $200 is available every year for every member.
Nice.
So those are and of course, I already told you about our Nation of Neighbors program. That comes around once a year. Last year, an agent nominated a woman in Colorado, and she got $20,000. So agents have been really well. They do well, too, about nominating people, because when they nominate someone, if they get selected, that agent gets to go with us to help present the check. And a lot of times TV's there. So that's the way to get their name out in the community.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of things that completely separate you from the life insurance community. Yes. And when I say life insurance community, I mean other carriers. Well, really,
I always say, maybe sometimes we might be a little more expensive, but then if there's somebody that really likes to volunteer me, that's $200 that they get free every year. So I kind of throw that out as like, okay, we have those little added extras that a lot of insurance companies don't have.
That's a lot of value. And again, that speaks to what you guys do that is unique. What about other products?
We do have Jet Whole Life. We have a Jet Term. We have our single premium whole life that we just relaunched. Single premium whole life is kind of a unique. You got to have the right client, because they have to have quite a bit of money to just put down in the product. But if you find that client, if you look at our single premium whole life, you won't probably find another carrier that can beat us.
So it's kind of you're buying more money.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a great, we have some agents that's all they do is single premium whole life, but you got to find those clients that have money. But sometimes when you're talking to your client, you find out, they have this money set aside. That's when you kind of talk about single premium whole life, because it's paid up and they don't have to worry about it. We put I know sometimes they don't like it because their money's tied up, but there's some stipulation they get so much out without any kind of penalties.
Interesting.
And then the other thing we offer, is our MIGAs, 3, 5, and 10 year. We are pretty competitive in the rates. I know they've dropped a little bit lately, but if you ever have anybody that wants a MIGA, or just look at our rates. We put on the agent website every time a rate changes. So you can always go out to the agent website and see what our current interest rates are.
Do you have any other products that you're working on or that are coming out or that you're changing with the other products?
What we'll be working now, we just, like I said, we just relaunched single premium whole life. We're making improvements to final expense. And then after that, what we'll do is we're going to go back and look at our jet products, our whole life, our term, and try to make those products that are easy, better underwriting, quicker issues. I mean, so that's, we're always looking at our products to see what we can do better. But our product team is very small, so there's only so much they can work on. And we know final expense is what we sell 70% of. So we're focusing on the final expense right now, and then we'll go look at our jet products.
Okay, that's interesting.
But no new products that we are aware of.
Okay, got it. Well, with that being said, Darcy, thank you for all this information. I think we got some good stuff here. Hopefully we can do this again and we'll get together here, hopefully like sooner than later. And maybe we get lucky and get that signature process to where it's
supposedly
the text.
June 2026, supposedly.
Okay. All right. Excellent. It's nice being here with you, and thank you once again.
Oh, you're welcome. It was great. That was great getting to talk to your agents.
All right. Excellent. You have a good one.
You too.